going home early can change your life forever. Yes, it's not so cool when you have a family where your absence means nothing. So, what can you do to change that narrative if that's your experience? This is Blissful Living with Itoro Ebright, and we believe everyone can lead a happy, healthy, and fulfilled life. So, we talk about 5 F's: faith, family, food, fitness, and fun. So, today we're talking about why going home early is important. And I'm going to be sharing some very basic reasons. But before I talk about that, I know that some of us do not have control over our work. Maybe you run shifts, so sometimes you have to work late at night, or you work and you work very far away from home and you have to get home very late. That's understandable because I want to believe that's going to happen for a season in your life. Meaning, after that season, you can take advantage of what we are saying. And if you have the power to control the time you get home, then you need to be very intentional about ensuring you get home early. Because of these reasons, I'll be sharing with you. One of it is that if you get home early, you're going to most likely have an early dinner. And if you have an early dinner, you'll be healthier than you are because eating late causes a lot of health issues eventually, from indigestion to poor sleep pattern, to very many things will be affected when you eat late. You sleep earlier. Some people do not have a long and qualitative sleep because they come in very late. Imagine getting home at 11 p.m., and you're going to also be awake, one or two things, your sleep routine before you go to bed. Then before you eventually sleep off, we're talking about 1 a.m. By the time you sleep off at 1 a.m., by morning you still have to wake up, to go about your business if you have to go to work. That way you won't have had enough sleep for the night, and that's already telling on your health. It can affect your productivity at work. It can affect your overall health because you haven't had a good enough sleep. Another way your sleep can be affected is in the quality of your sleep. Some people get into the bed and they are unable to fall asleep for even up to 30 minutes after they got into their bed. Now, one of the things that affects you is how long you've been on the screen. Maybe your phone, your computer, the headlight from the cars, or your own car, or the security lights around you. So, if you do not get home early, it can affect your sleep pattern. And that also means that eventually it can tell on your health. So another very important reason why you should go home early is because it affords you the time to bond with family. Are you aware that children whose parents get home earlier perform better in school? Yes. Research has shown that they will most likely perform better in school than children whose parents return home very late. So going home early allows you to bond with family members, get to see them, play with them, laugh with them, have fun, talk about things you do not like, things you like, and how your day went before they go to bed. Because when all the chips are really down, what is most important are the closest people to you, and your family is one of those. It's not so cool to have a family where your absence means nothing. That's not the best for you. So another reason why you should go home early, because it helps you regulate your association. Some people have so many friends impacting their lives negatively, meaning they have toxic relationships without knowing it. One of the reasons or the places where this can find expressions is with late nights, hangouts, especially if it has nothing to do with business meetings or any productive venture. You just sit out drinking, sit out talking. One thing you're going to most likely do, you may eat what you're not supposed to eat. Because everything that looks fast sometimes is too fast for your health and it's not good for your well-being. It's not something you should be feeding on. But hanging out with the guys or with the ladies can make you, have a drink. Instead of a drink, you can even have 2, 3. And then the same thing with the food you're eating or whatever you're eating or snacking on while you're hanging out. You may be snacking on things that will not help your health. So one reason why you should go home early is because it will help you regulate your association. Apart from those late night business meetings we cannot avoid, or the other one we intentionally create so we can meet with business partners, prospective clients and all. We should be more intentional about going home early to bond with family. So another reason why you should go home early is so you can meet what's happening in your home. You're not going to be a guest in a home where you're supposed to be the hosts. There are parents who do not know the color of the house where their children wore the previous week. If I ask you now, what color of houseware did your children wear last week? Any of the days last week? At what time did they go to bed? You can't even tell because you were not even home. So your going home late can also affect your children's sleep pattern, work pattern, academic pattern, feeding pattern. Yes, even their fun pattern because they miss you a lot. So even if you do not have children and you have your partner, or you do not even have a partner and you live alone, begin to practice the habit for a time when it will be needed. Sometimes just go home, and it's not going to cost you anything much. Be intentional about going home. There's a scripture, Psalm 68 verse 6, and it says, He sets the solitary in families. He says he gives the lonely a home to live in. So God intentionally gave you that family. So say to yourself, I will go home early. I will be very intentional about going home early. So till I come your way again, remember to lead a very happy, healthy, and fulfilled life. Bye.